Hello, hello. Welcome back to my Saturday show. I know it's on Saturday today because yesterday was the equinox, so I tuned in with the equinox yesterday, and I wanted to do it on the actual day of the equinox. So Saturday show this week on the consciousness. What is consciousness? And the truth is the consciousness is the little space, the emptiness, where there's no thought, no action, no involvement, empty space, the millisecond between the second, where the profound foundation creation, right? And now what is altered state of consciousness? Many people relate the altered state of consciousness with taking psychedelic drugs or being drunk, right? They say, okay, I'm not sober. My state of consciousness has been altered through drug outside influence. And in doing too much sport, the adrenaline kick, or binge watching TV, or being under constant stress. So these are tools, if you want to put it this way, to alter your consciousness. However, I dare to challenge you and to consider that actually we are constantly in an altered state of consciousness. So bringing back to the tool that we are actually, the consciousness is just the empty space, right? So everything beyond this empty space is therefore altered state of consciousness. Now I'll take you back to the moment you were born as a child. You were where you were pure consciousness, right? And in this open space of consciousness of creation, everything is possible. Therefore, as a child, we believe in unicorn, fairy tales. We can communicate with the wind. We hear the water talking to us, right? The sun is looking, smiling at us. The moon is literally communicating with us. We're scared of the monsters, which are the shadows, right? So this is, and we are purely consciousness because we don't know different, right? We are in this empty space of consciousness and we're perceiving the outside world as a child. Now, outside state of consciousness, we are getting programmed or fed with information, constant information as we grow up, altering our original concept of consciousness. Meaning we are bombarded with information, right? Altering our original state of consciousness, taking us away from the openness and in naivety of the empty state of consciousness, bombarding us with information and concepts, telling us that this is being conscious, taking away from the true meaning of consciousness, putting us in a constant state of altered consciousness. And you don't need to have psychedelic drugs to alter your state of consciousness. We are 24/7 in an altered state program consciousness. I know it's gonna blow your mind. So running, if you watch Finch, when you watch a lot of teammates. And in our time, especially, all the internet, TV, computer games, more. I remember once I was playing computer games all night. The next time I moved accordingly to the computer game. For everything influences our brain synapse, right? And takes us away from the pure concept of consciousness. So if you are not in this empty space, meaning the true consciousness, you are automatically in an altered state of consciousness. There is no in between. Now, taking psychedelic drugs or medicine plants like ayahuasca, peyote, caxine, or mushroom, or LSD, this opens a different part of your brain. But it's not that much different than your day-to-day altered state of consciousness. The difference is you're using different parts of your brain, yet you're still in an altered state of consciousness. You never, unless you sit down and you really focus and you come back to this empty space of consciousness, you're constant in altered state of consciousness. Now, how do you live with that? Bringing awareness. So if you are aware, okay, you are in a constant altered state of consciousness. This means how if you are on psychedelic drugs. I remember I took one a microdot, which is a very 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 powerful LSD trip, and it really takes you. I mean, you really have to be very careful because you get no controlling anymore. You lose control. I mean, it really takes you. There's nothing you can control. The only thing you can do prior being aware of what you are doing in the way you're doing it. Meaning, I knew I take this LSD trip, it's gonna change my brain synapses, and when I come down, I'm gonna have to focus on it, bringing the brain synapses back in the right order, so I'm gonna have losing in my mind. Or when you do ceremonies with plant medicine, I mean, if you go to a proper shaman or people who know what they're doing, they keep you grounded throughout the ceremony. They don't let you take ayahuasca and wake up. This is a complete Western BS, right? Sorry to take it, but if you do ayahuasca or any ceremonial herb medicine plant to alter state of consciousness, meaning accessing different parts of your brain because you are already in an altered state of consciousness, right? So if you're gonna access a different part of your brain, it can really literally blow you to different realms, go you out of body experience, etc. You need to have a guidance to keep you grounded, so you're not completely get out of your body, if that makes any sense. Having said that, how many times you in real life, without having to take any altered state of consciousness medical plan, how many times in real life have you experienced actually being like giddy or feeling like out of body through a shock, through being too tired, through being in constant stress, being overloaded by information? How many of you are feeling actually completely real? In a sense, okay, you grounded, this is, I'm real right now, this is all real. Or how often do you feel in your life going to work, doing everything, it's actually a movie? Altered state of consciousness. Are you real? And now how could you find back to your realness is to literally to ground you, to stop and take a break and to observe and bring awareness to your current state of mind. Are you conscious or are you acting out of your altered state of consciousness, which is just full on action reaction. Find yourself come back to your state of this emptiness, and then that's what they say 1 minute after, not 1 day ahead, don't plan. Really live, really go from this empty space, which is 24/7 training, but it is possible. And regarding to the altered state of consciousness, the moment you bring awareness to yourself and awareness that you are in an altered state of consciousness, you have to bring yourself right back into the center and ground yourself in order to be in control of this state of consciousness, right? Not like be on an epic trip and lose control, let life take over you. Okay? So next time, I know it's Sunday and have a wonderful Sunday. Maybe you can practice coming back into you and really act from the awareness of the empty space and observe your altered state of consciousness around you, and also see how you can recreate this altered state of consciousness. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a brilliant day, start of next week. Lots of love and blessings. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Namaste.